Hello, my name is Sophie Budd from Taste Buds Cooking Studio, and today I'm using a Beta Spuds Maranca, this potato just here, and I'm going to be making a really simple potato and silver beet tortilla. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab a couple of these spuds. I'm not going to peel them because they've got a very thin skin. Cut them in half and then just cut really thin in little semicircles. Now I'm going to turn on my pan. So the important thing for this recipe is using a good non-stick pan. If your pan isn't non-stick, it's not going to come out at the end. So I'm putting my pan onto quite a high heat to get the heat into there. And I'm going to use some olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to wait for the oil to heat up, and that's important because when you put the potatoes into the pan, you don't want them to stick in the cold oil. You want them to hit the hot oil and start to fry straight away. You can tell your oil's getting hot. You can see the oil starts to go a little bit dappled, and you just put your hand on top and you can feel the heat coming off the oil. Pop the spuds in the pan. Give them a little shake or a little stir. Make sure they've all got a little bit of oil on the top. And then let them fry. I'm going to use a flat-bottomed wooden spoon because if they do get a little bit stuck, I want to scrape them off the bottom. Then I'm going to get some eggs. I've got some lovely local free-range eggs. And for a pan this size, I'm going to need about 8 eggs. And then just with a fork, beat the eggs together and a little dribble of cream. The cream just makes the final tortilla just a little bit softer. Make sure you keep going back to your spuds. Giving them a bit of a stir. And I'm going to put some salt and pepper. So I quite like pepper, so I'm going to put a really big pinch in there. And a nice big pinch of salt. Beat that in. I've also got some silver beet that I've already shredded up, and now it's just a waiting game. I'm going to stir the potatoes, and I want them to be nice and golden and cooked through before we add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, I've been cooking these for about 10 minutes, and what I'm looking for is all of that lovely golden colour. Now I'm going to put in a little bit of silver beet that I've already chopped up, and that just needs a minute to wilt a little bit in the pan. To know whether your potatoes are cooked, you look for the thickest one and just give it a little bit of a snap, and if it breaks really easily, it's ready to go. Now I'm going to pour in my egg mix. Just making sure it gets all the way to the bottom. Okay, now I've got my oven set to 150 degrees. It's really important it's at 150. If it's any hotter, the tortilla will bubble up around the edges. So 150 cooks it nice and evenly, and it should come out nice and firm. Okay, we're going to come back and have a look at that in a couple of minutes. So I've taken the tortilla out of the oven and I've let it sit for 5 minutes. You can see that if I push my finger in the middle, there's no gooey egg oozing out. It's nice and firm, and because I cooked it at 150, it's not bubbled up around the edges. Then I'm going to grab a chopping board, I'm going to stick it on the top, and with my hand flat on the top, flip it over, and you've got the tortilla. Now, you can cut it into maybe 4 if you're having dinner, or into smaller slices. I'll just show you what the middle looks like. So you can see the lovely green and potato in the middle. And that's perfect served with some salad for dinner. And it literally takes, I'd say, half an hour start to finish. If you're feeling really lazy, which I am sometimes, you can slice up the potatoes, rub them in olive oil and roast them in the oven, and then put them into the pan and finish them off with the eggs in the pan.